A total of 57 hours of jury deliberations. And today,
jury being unable to reach a verdict, declare a mistrial.
Everybody was kind of disappointed. We'd like to get some resolution.
My family has been sentenced to life without the probability of peace.
Tonight, we look at what's next.
We call on the community to join us in peaceful protest of this unjust result.
And see how Cincinnati reacts.
This is the time, this is the season to make sure that we start echoing those messages of peace and love in our city.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight, Ray Tenzing is neither convicted nor acquitted. Two juries have heard the case and both have been deadlocked.
We are almost evenly split regarding our votes toward a final verdict. We have given this extensive deliberation with opportunity for both sides to express their positions. We do not foresee coming to a unanimous decision. At this time, this court is in a position and will have to, as a result of the jury being unable to reach a verdict, declare a mistrial in this case.
You can see Tenzing, who was stone-faced for the entire trial, shows some emotion after Judge Leslie Ghiz declares a mistrial.
And this is the second time now that a jury couldn't come to a decision. But tonight, we do know where they stood from someone involved in the proceedings. For murder now, 8 of the jurors said that Tenzing was not guilty. 4 thought he was guilty. And for voluntary manslaughter, the lesser charge, 7 said not guilty, 5 said guilty. Now, Sam DuBose's family took aim at the jury following the decision.
The prosecution has done a brilliant job here. It's not the prosecution. We have to get juries who will remain open-minded and look at the evidence. Tenzing had a responsibility to show by preponderance of evidence that he was dragged. Every bit of evidence showed he was a liar and he is a murderer, and we want him charged with murder again.
What do you think that you said? What is the problem? What do you think the problem is? It's 2 jurors.
I think that there are biased people on the jury who are not following their oath.
Now, the DuBose family is also raising questions about a witness in the trial.
It was a witness called by the prosecution, but might have helped the defense. Local 12's Jeff Hirsch is at the Hamilton County Courthouse tonight to explain that. Jeff?
Well, would it have made any difference if this particular witness had not said what she did say? I mean, it wasn't like the jury was hung 11-1, but still, what she said was a surprise considering who called her to the stand. The prosecution's case went downhill almost from the start. A key prosecution witness was Cincinnati Police Sergeant Shannon Hine, who took Ray Tenzing's statement following the shooting.
Based on my time and training with internal investigations, I thought I was looking at an officer-involved shooting where his actions may be determined to be justified based on the events surrounding the actual shooting.
It was an unexpected hole. The prosecution tried to dig their way out, suggesting that CPD investigators did not question Tenzing very aggressively.
Was this the good old boy network kicking in? Is this how they would have treated anybody else other than an officer?
The police union pushed back.
The good old boy network brings back, all sorts of, feelings about how things were handled maybe in decades past or whatever, and none of that has anything to do with what Cincinnati police do today.
Following today's mistrial, the attorney for the DuBose family released a statement calling on Cincinnati's police chief to investigate Sergeant Hine, questioning if Hine had discussed her bombshell testimony in advance with the defense, and saying the conduct of Sergeant Hine opened the Cincinnati Police Department to the valid criticism that she was covering up for Tenzing. Chief Elliot Isaac said CPD will look into that.
I am concerned about a number of things that occurred during the trial. Not only Sergeant Hine's testimony, but also some of the comments made during the closing statement. The matter is under review, and I will have a little bit more later regarding that.
Sergeant Hine did also testify in the first trial, and at that time she said she had no reason to doubt the veracity or truthfulness of Ray Tenzing's version of the story. But in that first trial, she did not give her opinion using the words that it may have been justified. Live at the courthouse, Jeff Hirsch, Local 12 News. Back to you.
Jeff, thanks very much. Local 12 asked defense attorney Stu Matthews about Sergeant Hines' testimony. Matthews says he wants to wait until the dust settles before commenting. But we were able to catch up with him immediately after the mistrial was declared.
Can you talk about the emotion, at least in the courtroom?
Everybody was kind of disappointed. You know, we'd like to get some resolution, so
Okay.
that's where we are.
And did you talk to Ray afterwards?
Oh, absolutely.
And what did he say?
He's disappointed. He would like some resolution. But we're going to figure it out here as we go.
Any message to the citizens?
Not at this point, no.
Stu, a lot of people are frustrated. Do you have anything to say?
Like I am also. Pardon me.
Prosecutor Joe Dieter says he isn't commenting on the case until next week. We've also reached out to the Tenzing family. They declined to be interviewed.
And Ray Tenzing was a University of Cincinnati police officer at the time of that shooting. He has since been fired. Tonight, the school's president issued a statement that says, in part, we shall press forward with the voluntary police reforms we initiated with the help of our Community Advisory Council. Our focus remains on learning from the past and redoubling our efforts to build a brighter tomorrow.